Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Sim, thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing good. I've been avoiding this story for so long, but it looks like I cannot avoid it anymore because the narrative white women, especially, are pushing out is very dangerous. Now, this is also part of the reasons why when black women, black people in general, complain about how they are being treated in hospitals and all that, it looks like they are joking. Because tell me how Adriana Smith had. What happened to her happened in February, and this woman was in life support till June. And then the baby came out, and you all are screaming that she delivered the baby. How did a dead woman deliver a baby? You all are very silly, sincerely speaking. Very, very silly. And the fact that you all are coming out here to defend it is absurd. Now, let me tell you all this. United States is very ghetto. I said what I said. You all call African countries and some other countries third world or developing country, but sometimes I feel like you all are still developing in some certain things. Now, let me come back to this. Tell me how you all are out there saying that this woman, it's a better decision because you use a black woman's body to make experiment like you all have been using all these years. It is nothing new. It's not something that I picked up from nowhere. I've been able to read about medical this thing that you all have been doing to people that look like me. No, this is not okay. And the fact that the family is also mourning and at the same time paying bills that you all, I am done. Let's get it.
The baby was just excavated from Adriana Smith's body. Adriana Smith, the black woman in Georgia who died at 6 weeks pregnant, and then due to medical negligence, and then was kept as an incubator against her will, against her family's will, just had her baby excavated from her body. And now he is in intensive natal care. So, what does it mean to be grown in a dead body and to be born excavated of a dead body? And also, you know what this means for the future of all women. The American medical system has always used black people and black bodies as medical experiments, and this is offensive and degrading and a terror to Adriana Smith's personhood and who she was. She was a mother, she was a nurse, she was a friend, she was loved, and she has been abused and degraded, and her body has been experimented on. This will change the trajectory of reproductive rights in America. Please talk about this. Please be angry. Her family's GoFundMe is in my bio. Her family has to pay her medical bills after all of this. Her being inside of an incubator, all of the technology that was used for that, excavating the baby, keeping the baby alive. Her family has to pay all of this in medical bills that they did not consent to.
The baby, as you called him, is named Chance. I noticed you didn't put that in your little video. And the only reason Chance is sitting in the NICU right now at 1 pound, 13 ounces, is because he was harvested from the corpse that used to be his mother. The only reason they had to harvest young Chance from the corpse that used to be his mother is because she was decomposing. Did you happen to mention that while you were clapping like a fucking trained seal? Did you? No, you didn't. But I noticed you made sure to put Jesus in your username, didn't you? Of course you did. are an example of why I do not believe in any gods, and I think organized religion is a fucking Ponzi scheme. You wouldn't know Jesus if he showed up at your front door. You'd probably call ICE on him to have him deported. But here you are, making that stupid ass clapping sound, using that dumbass Iggy Azalea song, the trend amongst MAGA, to celebrate something so fucking heinous as the harvesting of a fetus because the mother has been put on life support for weeks. Weeks. Several of them. And the only reason that child is in the NICU is because the mother, Adriana Smith, was decomposing. Yeah. I bet you didn't think about that. But then again, you know, Jesus says, render unto life the baby and fuck the mother, huh? Isn't that what he said? It's in one of those books that in that Bible that Donald Trump sold you. Yeah. You are an example of why I loathe Christians in this country. You. You're two-faced and hypocritical. Because if somebody did that to you, your daughter goes and is put on life support until her child is viable, and then some fucking asshole on a social media application does the clappy thing, your heart would be broken. Did you know that Adriana Smith's mother had no control about what happened to her daughter? No control at all. Did you know that? Did you know that Adriana Smith was in that coma and brain dead because of blood clots that were misdiagnosed at another hospital? But you know what? I know you don't care. I know you don't, because it's a black woman. Who gives a fuck that they're 4 times more likely to die doing exactly what you're clapping about? Who cares about that shit? It's all about the womb and the baby, right? Are you going to donate to the GoFundMe to pay for the bills for Chance to be in that NICU? Or you're going to donate to the GoFundMe for the bills that Adriana Smith's mother is going to have to pay? Are you going to be the one to tell that child, if he makes it, and we're really not sure, if he makes it, are you going to be the one to look him in the face and tell him what happened to his mom and how Jesus loves him? No, you're too pussy to do that. Too pussy. You are one of the reasons why I say religion is a fucking Ponzi scheme. Yeah. Because it's all fun and games and Iggy Azalea songs until it's your daughter that is having a fetus harvested from her corpse because she's decomposing. I loathe you people. Loathe you. I find no earthly good for you being here. And your big book of bad ideas is your shield from people calling you the horrible person that you truly are. So while you're clapping like a fucking seal, I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that the child, Chance, that you're clapping for, started his life on this side of the womb because his brain dead mother was decomposing and they had to get him out. And I hope it haunts you in your dreams. I can't stand you people.
saying she gave birth. Stop it. Stop trying to normalize the removal of Adriana Smith's baby by claiming that she gave birth. No, she didn't. No, she did not. Saying that she gave birth or that she delivered the baby implies that she somehow participated. And in order to do that, she would have to be alive, which she wasn't. A baby was removed from her dead body. That is all. That's what happened.
Stop saying she gave birth. You have to be alive to give birth. He was extracted. He was harvested like a fucking organ. This woman passed away months ago. This child was 3 months early and he's not expected to survive. Why? Because he was born of a fucking corpse. He's not expected to survive because this was never God's will. This is people trying to decide who lives and who dies. You don't get to play God. You're not God. This is necromancy. This is unholy. This was unnecessary suffering on an innocent life. Oh, for what? Because you wanted to test to see if you could do this? You wanted to use that woman as a fucking experiment? You sick fucks! And the most disgusting part about all of this is if this child does survive, you know what that means for the rest of the women in America? It means we're fucked! You don't even get to die anymore! Do you not realize that just because you voted for that Cheeto-dusted dickhead, that doesn't make you safe? If you have a uterus, you are just as much of a target as the rest of us.
Wow, I'm so glad that we could handle this calmly and rationally. Welcome to part 2 on clearing up common misconceptions around the Adriana Smith case. First off, let's just address that yes, people absolutely have stated they want baby Chance to die. The amount of people I have had in my comments saying that no one's saying that that's not happening, it absolutely is. Prior to him even being born, people were advocating for his death. But even since his birth, people are still vying for this baby's death. Here are just a few of them that I pulled from X. And another one, you can pause to read. Now that we have that out of the way, let's address the fact that Adriana Smith's pregnancy is not what led to her becoming brain dead. She had a completely unrelated medical condition that caused blood clots to form in her brain. This had nothing to do with her being pregnant. And once blood clots have reached the brain, it is very difficult to treat this condition and survival rate is very low. So let's continue to bolster the fact that this case has nothing to do with abortion laws by looking at some of the previous cases where this has happened. We can also immediately debunk the human experiment and Adriana is the experiment and now all women are subject to this lie and myth. There have been roughly 34 documented cases of women who were brain dead and on life support giving birth to babies in the United States. In fact, the very first case goes back to 1982. All of the previously documented cases of this happening have absolutely nothing to do with abortion laws because they all took place prior to Roe v. Wade being overturned on June 24th of 2022. In fact, let's go over a few of these cases and let's look at what states have Advanced Directive Healthcare Act laws in place. All of the states in the pink and the peachy orange, every single one of those has an Advanced Directive Healthcare Act law in place that will divert to protecting and preserving the life of the baby if the mom does not have an advance directive in place that specifically states that she is pregnant and how she wants life support to be handled during her pregnancy. As you can see, this is the majority of states in our country, and it is a combination of pro-life and pro-abortion states. Here is a case that happened in 2015 in Oklahoma. Carla Perez, who was kept on life support for 54 days after she suffered a brain hemorrhage in order to protect and preserve the life of her baby girl. Her baby survived and is healthy and thriving today. Here's another case from 2005 that took place in Virginia, a very pro-abortion state, of a woman who was brain dead and kept on life support to sustain her daughter's life. Her daughter, who was born via C-section, weighing in at 1 pound 13 ounce, exactly the same weight as baby Chance, and she survived and was healthy and is doing very well to this day. Next, we can look at a case that took place in 2014 with Marlise Munoz in Texas. She was being sustained on life support against her husband and family's wishes due to the Texas Advance Directive law. Her family ended up winning in court, and at 23 weeks pregnant, she was removed from life support, ending her and her child's life. Next, let's address this absolutely vile, disgusting claim that Adriana Smith was a rotting, decaying corpse. This is not medically accurate to someone who is being sustained on life support. And all one needs to do is a 5-second Google search. No, a body on life support is not necessarily decaying. Life support, such as a ventilator, can maintain bodily functions and prevent immediate decay, even when the person is declared brain dead. While brain death signifies the irreversible cessation of all brain activity, the body can remain in a state that mimics life with a beating heart and functioning organs due to the life support. So she was in a slowed down progression of death, right? It kind of holds the body in this state of suspension. Now, obviously, that's not a long-term solution. It is only temporary. But to say that she was rotting, decaying, a corpse, absolutely not correct and absolutely disgusting to say. Brain death is not an exact science, and brain death is different from physical bodily death. And we know this because we have had cases where people have woken up after being declared brain dead. For example, this Kentucky man in 2021 was declared brain dead, yet woke up during his organ harvesting. Next is the wrong assertion that it should automatically always be left to the family to make life-ending decisions. This is not always necessarily a good thing because not every family has good intentions. I know that you guys want to think that that's the case, but there have been well-documented cases of families removing family members from life support due to insurance fraud and wanting to get life insurance money. At the end of the day, the law cannot assume what Adriana Smith would or would not have wanted. And because she did not have the proper advance directive in place addressing her pregnancy specifically and life support for her baby specifically as the law requires, the law reverts to protecting and preserving the life of her baby. We do not want to be in a country where hospitals, doctors, and lawyers can just start presuming and assuming what people would or would not want. That is not a good place to be. Next is this false idea or equivalence to choice in this case. This is not a case of mom versus baby and who are we going to save situation. This is simply a case of mom is not savable. Do we allow baby to live or do we allow baby to die? There was no choice for Adriana Smith. She was brain dead. And at that point, the law reverted to protecting or not protecting the life of her child. Next is the concept that baby Chance was not born, but was extracted or removed from Adriana's dead corpse. First of all, if you're going to say that about this case, what are you saying about every woman who has given birth via C-section? Because no, we did not deliver our babies then. By your definition, all of our babies technically were removed from our bodies. So maybe you need to think about this before you just go saying it willy-nilly. And lastly is the concept that because baby Chance does not have his mother, that he should also die. This is insane. You are basically saying that all orphans who have lost a parent or parents should be dead. That's insane.
What's up, y'all? I just got off work and I see a lot of people talking about this, and I just want y'all to understand from a medical standpoint. All right, the lady in Georgia that was killed alive because she was pregnant and it went against Georgia abortion laws. Y'all, stop saying that lady delivered a baby. That lady ain't delivered shit. That once you are brain dead, bro, you are dead. I don't care if your heart's still pumping. None of that. You are dead. What's even more disgusting about the whole situation, they kept this lady heart beating for 4 months. Mind you, when she died, she was 9 weeks. The newborn baby they cut out of her is 1 pound and like 7 ounces and is expected to be okay. This lady literally was a fucking incubator. You know how disgusting that is? And I ain't gonna count. This is just the beginning of what's to come, because once they realize and start doing the research that you don't have to be technically alive to birth a baby, Think about how sick that was. Your body started decaying immediately after you pass away. Even though her heart was beating, her brain was dead. Your brain sends all the functions of everything in your body to work. All organs, all that shit. That lady was literally dead, and they kept that woman heart beating to bring a baby into this world over some fucking laws. Even if that baby make it to be older, that baby gonna suffer anyway. That was a decomposing body. That's sick. Look up necromancy and tell me what y'all think about that shit. She ain't deliver shit at all. She couldn't deliver shit. She was dead. When you are brain dead, again, you are dead. Okay?
In the state of Georgia, it's now legal to cut into dead bodies and require families to pay for medical bills. If you've been following, you know I'm referring to the case of Adriana Smith, the unfortunate nurse who was determined to be brain dead when she was 9 weeks pregnant. Despite her family's wishes, she was forced to stay on life support because of Georgia's heartbeat bill and because she was pregnant at the time that she was determined to be brain dead. This past weekend, Adriana had to have an emergency C-section to deliver her premature baby, who's less than 2 pounds and fighting for his life on life support. In medicine, we have to get informed consent before we perform any procedure, especially something like a C-section. I don't understand how any informed consent was obtained when first the patient was dead and two, when the family never wanted her to remain on life support in the first place. What was allowed to happen to Adriana Smith is nothing short of appalling. The fact that this mother had her blatant wishes disregarded and her family's wishes disregarded is completely abhorrent. What makes it worse is we live in a state that is quick to claim freedom when it comes to gun protections, but when it comes to our most important decisions, that over our bodies, our pregnancies, and our future, the government has completely overstepped and intervened. This isn't freedom, this is control.
Come here, I need to paint you a picture. Imagine this. You've got the worst headache of your entire life. So bad that you just have to go to the hospital. At the hospital, they run a few tests. The doctor says, oh, it's just your anxiety. You're overworked and stressed. Go home. So you go home. You still got that bad headache. You take some paracetamol, you go to bed, and you die. At the hospital, the doctors now suddenly worried that they missed something, do further and more appropriate tests, and find out that you've got this big bleed in your brain. And they tell your family that, I'm sorry, but the bleed is too massive. You're essentially brain dead. It should be over now. But wait, there's a catch. See, you're pregnant, about 9 weeks along, and you live in the state of Georgia, where people who have no background in science or even humanities consider a single blood vessel in a 6-week-old fetus that contracts with the pump of your own placental blood flow, call that a heartbeat, and say that, oh, no. That cannot be aborted. Anybody who tries to do anything that would harm that 6-week-old fetus will be sent to jail, will have their careers ruined, and whatnot. So the doctors and the management of that hospital, where your brain dead body is, decide that, nope, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to take off life support. They will force you to carry that child until it's viable or as close as they can get it. Your family argue, try to give you a humane end, but they refuse. They put tubes right into your heart to give you vital medications to keep your blood pressure up, keep you alive. Tubes to give you nutrients, catheters, a tube straight down your throat to give you oxygen. And life goes on. Well, death goes on. Weeks go by. The very medication that's keeping you alive causes constriction of the blood vessels in your arms and legs. First, the skin starts to get red and ulcerated, then die off. And then the same happened to your intestines. You lose your intestines and all the bacteria that's inside your intestines just flows into your blood, causing sepsis. They give you really strong antibiotics to take care of that. Okay, well done. But now, the tube inside of your throat, that's a foreign object. That also causes an infection eventually. No problem, they give you even stronger antibiotics to take care of that. Okay, fair enough. But guess what? Antibiotics only work in your blood. They don't do anything for the tube that's in your throat. And you just get reinfected again and again and again, each time with stronger and stronger bacteria that need stronger and stronger antibiotics. Your kidneys die, so does your liver. You start rotting from within and out. Eventually, that rot reaches the womb, way before that child should be viable. So the doctors perform what can only generously be called an autopsy to remove that fetus and put it in PICU and allow you a humane passing away. That's the story of Adriana Smith, essentially. Everybody who voted for these kind of laws to be put into place need to remember that name, especially when it happens to them. And the British people need to be very careful because certain people are making the same kind of noise over here.
I just watched this video of this white woman saying how white women are discussing what could happen to them while black and indigenous women are discussing what is happening to them. One of the comments read that the healthcare system is to black women what jail or prison is to black men. Another comment read that this is not about color, that this can happen to all women. And I have to say, no, it cannot. There's a reason why they use that melanated body to conduct that experiment, because that's what it was. There's a reason why they saved a black woman's child. They don't really have to save you all's children in the way that the reasons why they saved that black woman's child. They told you that women hold the mitochondria DNA, which can birth all races. No. Black women hold the mitochondria DNA and can birth all races. We are portals. Our womb is more than just a uterus that holds life. Black women are the closest thing to God on earth. Our bodies have been being experimented on since they learned the word curiosity. Some are arguing that what those medical people did was revolutionary, and some are saying that it was medical abuse. Adriana Smith's body was held on life support for months, and the only reason they removed the baby is because her body was deteriorating from the inside. Black women, we are not just incubators. When we have children, we are not just carrying a child. There is magic that happens in our womb. We hold spirit. Spirit. So if there was no spirit in that body, what sustained that child's life? If there was no spirit in that body, she could not be a portal. We are portals. Our wombs, our vaginas are portals. So what came in? They couldn't send the baby through her portal. They had to remove her or remove him. So medical abuse, most definitely. They think revolutionary. What they did was revolutionary. But it doesn't take away that they medically abused a black woman's body because they understand our DNA. They understand what our bodies are capable of. If they really was concerned about the child's life due to laws, they would be out here saving white babies every day. And they wouldn't have wasted a huge medical bill on one of the things that they cannot stand in this country, black women. Yeah. So Adriana Smith's son was born and didn't get to come through a portal and didn't get to be sustained by spirit. So while white women are discussing what could happen to them, baby, let me tell you, it's not going to happen to you. Because you do not hold what the black woman holds. And that is why they chose Adriana Smith's body to be their experiment and not a Caucasian woman.
And just for the record, Adriana Smith didn't have a baby. She didn't. An extremely premature fetus was ripped from her cold, dead body. That's exactly what happened. And of course, they named him Chance. And ironically, That's all he was. Her body wasn't hers anymore. She became a literal incubator on life support. Her mom literally begged the doctors to let her go. But no, the law said not until we're done growing that fetus. And grew they did. So after months of these machines breathing for her, they did an emergency C-section and delivered a baby that is a whopping 1 pound and 13 ounces. 1 pound and 13 ounces. That's smaller than a little tiny bag of rice. Okay. And while some folks are calling it a happy ending, Adriana's body will be removed from life support on her 31st birthday, on what would have been her 31st birthday. How is this pro-life? And how does this protect women? Her nursing degree didn't protect her. Her mother couldn't protect her. And not even debt could free her. Is this what we're doing? How is this pro-life? Okay. Rest in peace, Adriana Smith. Forced to carry, forced to incubate, denied dignity, even in debt.
Adriana Smith had her autopsy this week. So sorry, they're calling it a C-section. They're calling it a C-section when they kept a woman who was brain dead for 114 days on a ventilator in an ICU. You know, she was a nurse. She was a 31-year-old nurse. I'll be 31 next week. I'm a nurse and a doctor. And that could have been me. That could have been me against my will, against my family's wishes, watching a 100% brain dead daughter whom they loved while taking care of her 7-year-old daughter in an ICU, fighting with the hospital and the state and the country with no options. That could have been me. That could have been you. I hope that you share every video that mentions Adriana Smith's name. I hope that you comment her name on everything that you can. I hope that her name goes into textbooks and becomes synonymous with how we do not treat women in this country, how we do not treat humans, how we do not take autonomy and justice for granted as doctors. This isn't okay. This was never okay. And it got overshadowed by all the other crazy things going on in this country. But her world ended in February. February. Do you remember Valentine's Day? Because I don't. That's how long ago it was. That is how long they have kept this woman who was not alive tied to machines and IVs and beeping. And I can just not imagine the suffering that her family had to watch.
This is all I got from this video, and I am still trying to wrap my head around all this, and I do not want to. If you lose somebody, or if you've ever been in a situation whereby somebody is probably transitioning, right? And it's just a very hard period, a very difficult period. Why I said it's a very difficult period is because I do not understand the trauma, the family, not even the lady, because she was already dead, right? And they still decided that the child must come, and then decided to leave the woman for how many months? This happened, the story started in February, and this March, April, May, June, almost how many months that they kept her? Eventually, she is dead. I don't know if you guys understand this. She is no longer alive. And then eventually brought out the baby through C-section. She did not birth any child, because how can a dead person birth a child. All those, like, I just do not understand. Sincerely speaking, sometimes if I say this is what I feel. And you can also choose to feel otherwise. It's okay. There is nothing wrong with me having this kind of feeling. Sometimes I am like, can this world just shut down? Let it just go like that. Because at this point in time, I am not understanding. And then the family, what you did is also against the family's wish. See, this thing got nothing to do with insurance. Can white women stop? Can they understand that some certain things is not in there? Like, they should not start analyzing how somebody's body should be treated, or how someone, oh man, I don't know how you people have been putting up with these people, because all these things are atrocities. I am sorry, but I am still trying to grasp everything, because, like, how do you leave a woman that died? And now, you see, white women are part of the problem we are facing in this world, because not especially the Christian ones. Sometimes nothing is ever wrong with them. Nothing is ever wrong with anything that happens. Nothing ever, because to them it's okay. You have to save the baby. It's according to this silly one said, not like it's a situation whereby you have to save the baby or you save the mother. Now, in the end, with everything going on, you ended up, the baby might survive, the baby may not survive. And I do not want to say the family are wishing for the day, but I am just saying he or she may or may not, right? Because you know how many is it pounds that they call it, like, is it even up to an ounce, or what did they call it? Baby came out very tiny, right? Why are you people lying that she delivered a baby? Why are you people lying at this point in time? Because there was no delivery. Who delivers babies? Is it not someone that is alive? Is she alive? How did she deliver the baby? Black bodies have been used as experiment for years. It is not a new thing. It's something you don't even know all this. You that came out to tell us that it's not a situation of she giving birth, or she not saving the child, or not saving the mother. That it is just saving the child. Do you understand that black bodies have been used as experiments? And now you all decided to use it as an incubator experiment to see how far the child can go, or to see if the child will come out alive, or to see if... It's just crazy. On a serious note, it is very crazy. And this is not okay at all. And the fact that you all chose, right, to keep the child against the family's wish, or to keep the woman still on life support to have the baby, right? Now, who is paying the bills? The family also will be mourning and paying bills. God forbid. When I say God forbid, that country is so ghetto. I am so sorry to say it, but this is what I am saying this thing, and this is just me saying it. I'm not saying it because I am learning English. I am saying it because that is how it is. America is ghetto. You heard me right. I said what I said. And now, the family are looking for money. I'm still going to see if I can, or you guys, because I cannot drop the link in the comment section. It will not show. Man, I am tired. I am tired. Bye for now.